Yo.
This is a Danger Entertainment podcast. DangerEntertainment.net. Danger Entertainment Podcast Network.
Yeah.
Geek Speak, the definitive 365 cut. These are the meaningless ramblings of a Scottish redone whore and a pissy ex-video store clerk. Their ongoing mission is to set right the movie wrongs. They're gonna need a bigger podcast.
Hello and welcome to... Are we recording? Hello and welcome to the 365 Flicks podcast. ND Talks on bitches.
Mm-hmm.
We are back.
We are recording.
We are...
Yeah. I know you
Fucking derailed me.
You asked for a second if we were recording. I was just
Yeah, and
telling
then
you
I did it again. You could have cut it out. I'm starting again.
Okay, start again by all means, but it's staying in.
Prick. ND Talk is back. Isn't it, Kevin?
It is. Indie Talk is back. These are becoming more and more regular.
Regular.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we have got our mojo back because of the brand new studio and Everfan.
Mojo Jojo.
Exactly.
Powerpuff Girls. Awesome.
Yep.
Callback.
For fuck's sake.
Callback to the 90s. How you doing, Chris?
I'm doing good.
Yeah.
How are you doing, Kev?
I am okay. I am more than okay. I am very, very well. Thank you.
How
very
did
much.
your football go?
Yeah, it was good. It was very good. We got beat on penalties, which is a shit way to go out. But yeah.
I believe on the last episode you were expecting a right good pummeling from...
Well, I think we were quietly, secretly optimistic that we could do it, but also like being real with ourselves and saying we probably can't do it. So we'll probably get beat, but I reckon we could win. The team turned up, so the whole thing was like a charity football
That's always
day.
a plus.
Yeah, well, yeah, that is a plus. The whole thing was a charity football game that we were playing. My seniors team that I play for against the C9 Foundation, which is a foundation for men's mental health. Keeping the conversation going through grassroots football kind of thing. It was a fantastic day. It was set up by some boys behind the scenes at SBS. Kev, Cam and Andy kind of set the whole thing up and got the whole thing moving. I feel like we should have won. I'm not going to lie.
You think it was a moral victory more than anything else?
No, because I think for these things, like things for charity like that, a 1-1 draw is exciting. Penalties is even more exciting.
Mm-hmm.
And it was for charity, so you know what? It was what it was. I just feel like we should have won, really. But I'm taking it because I was being played on the left wing again because Kev just likes to Forrest Gump me, basically. He likes to put me on the left wing and just say, run. And then I'm just supposed to run for as long as I'm on the pitch, which I did like a half an hour stint to start with or something like that. But if they didn't take me off at that point, I was probably going to collapse because they decided to put like an 18-year-old kid on me. Not on me. Like covering me. No, not covering me. Marking me. He was defending against... No. Wow. Football's sinister.
He was fending you off.
He was fending me off. Yeah. He was... Yeah. Yeah. So he was this young lad. Skinny as the day is long. Plenty of fitness about him. I think he played the full 90 minutes, didn't break a single bit of sweat.
Little shit.
He's, you know what, fair play to him. He was a good player, but I could not do anything against him. And the first time he was making a break, and I was like, right, I've got to chase him. Again, sinister. But I was like, yeah, I've got to catch him. Can we move on?
Yeah, let's move on from Kev trying to chase down and pummel.
Yeah, to be fair, though, the game was awesome. The day was really good. Everybody played really well. The team was fantastic. Massive shout out to big man on campus, Kev Wright, the manager that was. He just looks after us, and he picked the right team on the day. Andy Thorpe was the man behind the scenes,
Well, he didn't,
setting
did he?
most of it. He did.
Well, you lost.
I had a corker of it.
Oh, you're not going to start describing fucking war stories of bloody football on this show. Fuck off.
No, but I seriously had like a meaty cross.
Did you?
I did.
Did you? Aye.
Fuck you. We should have won. Is all I'm going to say. But yeah, it was a great day. Yeah. So
Indie Talk.
Indie Talk.
Yeah, this is a good one.
It certainly is.
And yeah, so on you go then. Who have we got?
Would you like to tell us who we've got?
I would like you to tell us who we've got.
Would you like me to tell?
I would like you to tell us who we've got.
Why would you like me to tell?
Because I think that I did the intro remarkably well, despite you trying to derail me.
You did.
And I think that you should take your turn.
Okay, well, we have the wonderful Daniella Dahoui, who helped us a while back on this show, getting in touch with Dom Lenoir and Matt Hookings to talk about their movie Winter Ridge. She has been quite prolific on the Facebook in sharing things and liking things. It was about time we got her on, and it was really interesting because we got to talk different side of the film industry.
And
something we've not done before.
Yeah, it's always interesting to hear more. You know, when I first started messaging Daniela, she said, "Well, what?" She pretty much said, "Well, what do you want to speak to me for?" And you know, she's got different perspectives, you know, from doing the different roles and what have you within the industry, and it's good to get those viewpoints.
It's like when we had way back in the day, we had David Michael Latt on, and he's like a producer. I think he was like the first kind of producer that we had on. But I mean, he was on to talk about Sharknado, wasn't he? But kind of takes away from being a producer. Really, it's like
no.
It's like, oh wow, you're a producer. You've made like 100 million. Oh, they're all asylum movies. Shit.
Oh, you bitch. Anyway, so we're going to jump in the interview right now with Daniela.
Oh, no, we are not.
We're not?
No, we are not,
We're
good
not?
sir. No, we are not. Because, first of all, you've got to do the pimpage.
Oh, all right, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Try not to fuck it up.
Well, I think we can both agree that's not going to happen. So we want everyone to look for the 365 Flicks podcast on the Facebooks and the Twitters. Don't forget to don't stare at me.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Don't forget to like and subscribe and share and all of those social media-y things. I believe we're also on Instagram, but I couldn't give two shiny shades about that. Anyway, we are on Apple Podcasts. I got it right. Hurrah. Subscribe to us on there. Leave us a cheeky 5-star review as well, because we like when that happens.
We do.
We're also on Spotify. Follow us in there. And any other third-party podcatching apps that you can get on your phone or tablet or ting. Look for us on a few networks. We're on the Tangible Network. We are on the Wicked Radio Network. We are on Weeby Geeks. We are on Geeks Worldwide. Hashtag... No, fuck it. Why am I forgetting nerdly.co.uk all of a sudden?
You always forget.
I don't.
And he's been good to us lately.
I know, has he?
Yeah.
All right.
Not to you, but to me.
The awesome nerdly.co.uk, our British home that I keep forgetting about. I blame Brexit.
I blame Brexit too.
Hashtag part of the family. Hashtag Britpod scene boosh.
Nice. So... we are going to get into the episode proper. It is an interview with Daniella Dahoui, as we keep saying. She is absolutely awesome, a total firecracker to speak to. Again, a different perspective.
Yeah.
And we'll be back on the other side of the interview because I got something I want to talk about.
Well, shit.
Before we wrap out the show.
Well, shit.
But for now, interview in progress.
We'll get you back to your regularly scheduled podcast in just a minute. But we wanted to introduce ourselves. I'm Jason.
I'm Jeff.
And I'm Blake on this highly produced advertisement.
That's right. It's the History of Bad Ideas, a.k.a. Hobie. You can find us on Twitter at Bad Ideas Podcast and on Facebook at the History of Bad Ideas. But if you like a podcast roundtable with 3 to 5 guests, usually every week, depending on sick leave, talking about all things geek, including movies, TV,
I ain't getting paid for this shit.
Blake bitching about something and ranting, and comic books and anything else that we can think of. We have a top 5 list every week, along with a box office news, and somehow we have listeners, so they send us some feedback we answer every week. You can find us on iTunes,
Stitcher,
Facebook,
Spotify,
and any good podcast app, because if you can't find us on that podcast app, it's not a good podcast app.
damn straight. Roger says goodbye.
Goodbye.
We are joined by Daniella Dahoui. Is that right? I said it right? I know it was only a... Dahoui. God damn it.
Still messed up.
I know. It was... Never mind. Anyway, welcome to the 365 Flicks podcast, Daniella. How are you?
Thanks for having me. I'm good, thanks.
No,
Good stuff.
this is it's great to have you on. It's been a long time coming. I feel we've been keeping an eye on you, and you like a lot of our posts, and it was like, let's get her on to talk about what she does.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah, because you keep yourself pretty busy.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of projects and stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll talk about it.
We certainly will. Yeah, so, right, let's go into it. We were just touching on I Love My Mum there for a second. So, how involved were you with the production of that?
Actually, very little in regards to I Love My Mom, because that one we did the post-production, and then we worked on promoting the film. And basically what my involvement is just helping promote the film, and I was, working closely with the producer and the director, and they were great. And it was just really cool to be able to work on it, because I saw the trailer last year and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to see it. And then I'm glad it's doing really well right now. So yeah.
It does seem to be doing amazingly
it's doing
well, doesn't it?
fantastic.
Yeah,
It is.
rightfully so. But yeah, I mean, actual props to the to the marketing of it, because
Yeah, definitely. You nailed it.
before it was even a thing where we were, being asked or being invited to watch the screener of it, it was already showing up all over my
Instagram. Instagram was a
Well,
big one. I know you don't
do
really do
Instagram,
Instagram,
Kev.
but it was like every time I went on Instagram, there was like a sponsored advert for I Love My Mum, and every time I'm like, yeah, I need to see that. And then lo and behold, Dom, who Daniella, thank you very much for setting us up with Dom and Matt ways back to talk about Winter Ridge. But lo and behold, Dom gets in touch and he's like, I've got this film that I'm sort of helping promoting. Would you mind checking it out? And then when he said what it was, I was like, shit, yeah, I'm checking that out.
Yeah, we had a really good team helping with promoting it and everything. Dom and the producer and the director, and I think Kirsten, they went around a couple of screenings across the UK. At first, it was just Dom and Alberto who directed the film.
Mm-hmm.
And but yeah, it was like really nice. They had a little road trip, and then I also went to Peterborough with Alexa, who produced the film. So yeah, that was fun.
Alexa as well, yeah. Alexa.
Yeah, Alexa's great as well.
Black Site Alexa.
Yeah, right. So, with regards to promotions and what have you, then, so tell us a little bit about how the promotion side and the marketing side of these films work. Once you've got got your filming done, you've got your editing done. How does that work? How do you go about that? Because that's something we've never actually
We've never
had somebody on to speak about.
I mean, normally you get like a distributor, like a distribution agent or someone to help out, but we were like self-distributed, so we just had to like, there are many ways to approach it, but like basically like there are a lot of, cinemas that we had to contact to get our film screened and everything. And we had, because like, it's not like you make the film and then and then it just goes to cinemas naturally. No, it doesn't work that way. You have to have like it's like you have a distribution company and then they sell it to X and then afterwards it goes to the cinema. It's like this whole process and everything. And we had that challenge because with Winter Ridge, because we also had to like, do it all ourselves and stuff. I mean, okay, there's a little more to it, but yeah, we have to actually like, just to get the basics, we actually had to go around and have our film screened at cinemas. As for promoting it on social media, we really went to town. We had to go through like Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, and we had to be very active and everything. So that was our way of doing so.
That's the thing like that. When you're on about like social media campaign and everything, you've got to be really active and like how draining is it and how hard is it to like really keep yourself going? Because you do, especially an independent film, you've got to keep knocking on people's door. You've got to keep letting people see it. So what sort of like, how draining is that? Because I know social media, I can't do social media.
It's
So
quite time consuming. We have to sometimes have meetings and just like either do WhatsApp or Facebook notifications to everyone we know. And in terms of I lost my train of thought. In terms of the posts themselves, we always had to keep posting. And I remember Winter Ridge, we sometimes took turns just to like have a photo on set. If nothing was happening, we had to like do a photo on set or a still of the film or something like that. But if something was going on, like there was a screening of the film or there was an award we won, we would just have to like promote that on social media. We just have to like just maintain a presence. That's basically it. Even if nothing's happening, we have to like do that, because that way people are like, oh, I saw that on. I actually spoke to a lot of people who I think I went to the Royal Ascot a few weeks ago. I mean, not to brag or anything. It was just a. But I went.
Not to brag.
It has nothing to do. It was just an event. And I was just saying like, oh, I'm working on this film. I love my mom. And then someone said, oh, I thought I heard about it online and stuff. So, yeah, that's really cool. That when you do enough of that, and then enough people heard about you, that's it. It's yeah, it works.
And does that make it easier for the next time you have to do it? It's kind of like you're a bit more driven to make sure people see it. Like, does it make it any easier knowing that people are seeing it?
I don't know how to answer that, because they're both very different films, and it always depends on the how many films and how many festivals you've submitted it to, how many cinemas you've submitted it to, and how many people you can get to watch your film, because at the end of the day it's a business. So even though you have an amazing film, if enough people watch it and talk about it, that's the ultimate goal, and that's how you make a profit and everything.
Definitely.
Well, Winter Ridge was another case of absolutely nailing the marketing.
It was everywhere.
Yeah, it was. I mean, and with the various awards and what have you that it won, I mean, it's fantastic to see, and of course you're gonna go on social media and go, look what we've got, look what we did.
Yeah, you have to be at it constantly and everything. And that one I did actually have more involvement. I was production assistant on set, but afterwards I was also press secretary, and that was my official title. Hey, and I had to just make sure that we had that presence there, and we had to make, and also it wasn't just the social media, and I forgot to mention this at first, but it's also contacting film reviewers, contacting people who do podcasts or film reviews and everything. And with regards to Winter Ridge, all of the YouTube reviews were because of me. I just went on, like, just said, hi, we have this film, and would it be possible for you to watch it, and if you like it, do a review on it. And it was really helpful because we got a lot of people giving it positive reviews and just saying go watch the film. So especially like if they have a lot of subscribers, so that was very helpful.
Wow. So obviously you're involved with Camelot. So tell us a little bit then about, obviously you're very, very busy there. So tell us a little bit about what you all get involved in, from Camelot's point of view.
Like what my involvement is?
Yeah, what's your, what are your different roles and what have you within the company?
So from my own perspective, I joined Camelot like 3 years ago. And it's at first it started out as just like, just trying to get, like, they were doing some show reels for actors at the time, and they were also doing their own stuff. Like they were doing a proof of concept for one of their future films. And we also did a film festival that year, and that was really exciting because, and it was really fascinating because I was learning a lot about, being on a film set and being, the administrative, like a lot of administrative work like tends to be like, oh, you're a secretary in film, but a lot of people overlook that aspect because there's a lot of planning that goes ahead with filmmaking, and it's important to know that stuff. So I'm glad I learned all of that stuff. And and also, like, it wasn't just the admin stuff that I was doing. It was also social media. It was also trying to get people to to have new show reels. We were treating it as a real business and everything. So I was really grateful for the experience because I learned a lot through Matt and I learned a lot through the people involved there. And I don't know what else to say. I just whenever I'm working with Matt, he's always very busy. He's always on the phone and stuff. And then next thing I know, hey, we're producing Winter Rage. You got a job there. I'm like, oh, cool. Yeah.
Matt seems to be very, very switched on, doesn't he? He's
busy. Yeah. The funny thing is that when he was like, hey, you're involved in a film, I'm like, oh, cool. I actually thought it was short film because we were doing short films at the time. And then I was like, I got the script and I was like, oh, it's a feature. Shit. So I was really glad for that, yeah.
So was Winter Ridge your first sort of like big feature film to be involved in, or what it is? Yeah?
Yeah, we went to Devon. At first it was supposed to be Wales, but then there was like an investor who backed out and it was just like really frustrating. This is the thing about film, like it's very unpredictable, so you have to be on your feet and you have to know how to improvise a little bit. And then at first it was Wales and then we went to Devon, and that was like it was quite a tight schedule. We had to film in 3 weeks, and actually not even, like we took a break in each week, so 17 days. And yeah, I just had to move around a lot and everything. So that was it was basically like in short films sometimes you just have to wake up early and then you just do it and then you go home. But this one you had to be like constantly energetic. You had to like work like 6 days a week, and it was just like, wow. But yeah, I'm very grateful for the experience and everything.
Definitely.
Must have been an amazing experience. So when when you were working on Winter Ridge, as you said, it was your first feature project. And was it one of Camelot's first as well? Because you said that they were just doing shorts before that. Is that right?
Yeah, they were doing. I need to elaborate a bit more, but they were doing a couple of short film projects before. They were doing. Their feature film is Prize Fighter, which is a boxing film, and we did a proof of concept in 2016. And we did a couple of music videos. We did a couple of mostly showreel scenes. And of course, we did the film festival. Yeah, this was their first big feature film because they were focusing, obviously, like Matt has this big project that he's doing, but obviously, like if you want to get investors, you got to prove that you can make a film, that you can, And so that's why Winter Ridge was a good project to work on, because it could prove that you could work with big name actors, you can work on a small budget. And it was a very small budget, actually. I thought it was like $500,000, but it was even less. So I was like, wow. The fact that we made a film that looked that good with such a short budget is just remarkable. Yeah. And yeah, it was a real eye opener in terms of that. Yeah. That fact alone. Yeah.
So with the proof of concept, that's something that we hear about a lot.
Yeah.
So when you're putting together the proof of concept thing, so this is how you get investors involved, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So tell us a little bit about the process. So you've got an idea of what you'd like to do with a feature film. So tell us a bit about the process then of how do you put together a proof of concept for your, how do you decide what goes in, how do you sit?
Well, funny enough, I will answer that in a minute. But a funny thing is that a lot of people create short films. That I've been involved in a lot of films that start out as short films, and people are like, "Wait, I can expand on it and make a feature film." And if the film wins enough awards and gets enough recognition, people can use that as a proof of concept and expand on it. Like I worked on a short called Express Delivery, and it's won quite a lot of awards and it's doing really well. And originally, my friend, he was gonna do a couple of, he was thinking maybe I'm going to do a web series, I'm not sure, but then he was like, actually, I'm going to make a feature film. So it's really unpredictable when it comes to films. So when it comes to short films, as for proof of concept and if from the beginning you want to make a feature film, yeah, it actually is, I guess making a proof of concept is kind of similar to making a short film, in the sense that, but the only difference is that you have to prove that it has the quality and, the recognition that it has to show potential. Basically.
Yeah.
And if you submit to festivals and it wins enough awards and everything, that means that like the people who are willing to invest in a project will be like, hey, people want to watch this. So yeah, it is kind of like a CV in a way.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. One that springs to mind is Michael Mann when he was first starting out made LA Takedown, which was it was a cool 70 minutes long. I mean, it's longer than a short, but it was like a cool 70 minutes, very low budget. And then basically a couple of years later, he made Heat, which is like 2.5 hours. Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, but it's the same movie essentially. But it was Michael Mann saying, "Look what I can do with no budget. Now give me a damn budget." So it's kind of like that, yeah. This is what springs to mind.
But Whiplash, I think Whiplash was also similar. Like they did.
Yes.
They did a short before they did the feature, but I think it was feature first. So yeah, it was supposed to be a feature, and then they made the short. So and especially if it has big name actors like what was his name? I'm thinking a bunch of names. Who's the actor who played the guy in Whiplash?
The teacher.
J.K. Simmons.
The teacher guy. J.K. Simmons.
Yeah.
There we go. And I follow him like everywhere. So I don't know what's wrong with me today. Yeah.
So that's we kind of started off with projects that you've been working on, you've been helping on, that you've been a part of. We're going to get a little bit into what you've been doing yourself now. But first of all, I suppose a good place to start with how you got into what you're doing is sort of, can you let us know how you started out and what drove you to this industry and what it was? Was it a conscious choice or?
Yeah, when I was a kid, I watched a lot of films, especially animated stuff, and it's just something I naturally did. And I watched a lot of films. I mean, it would be a range of like I wouldn't watch Star Wars until I was 19 or anything. So it wasn't like I'm definitely passionate about film. It was just something I was like, I love watching film. And then eventually when I watched enough film reviews, because I watched a lot of film reviews on YouTube and stuff, I realized, hey, I really enjoy analyzing film. I really enjoy the process of it. And then I was like, okay, I want to be a filmmaker or a film critic. I don't know. And then I studied film and media in St. Mary's, and then I went to UCL to study film studies, and it was all fine and everything. I did learn some practical stuff in my undergraduate, but all the practical stuff I think I got more insight when I went to Camelot. So Camelot Films, not the
Either or.
So yeah, it was just something that I realized much later in life, but like it's good to know. Yeah. I don't know where I was going with this. I don't know.
So yeah, let's move on to your shorts because I've watched the links that you sent me earlier on, and I just watched Life Lesson before Kev got here. Yeah. Now, so that's your most recent one, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. So Life Lesson. Are we allowed to say what it's about, or I don't want to?
I can say it. It's basically about this girl who, like 12-year-old girl who gives a bad grade to her parents. No, not to them. It's her bad grade. And it's a bad math exam, and she's like, oh no, what are you gonna say? And the father is furious, but the mother tries to, try something different, a different approach. So it was a story about how we communicate, there's a little commentary on the education system, there's a commentary on family dynamics, but the main message I was going for was how failure is not the end and how do you confront failure. So yeah.
Oh God, that sounds I've got an 11-year-old daughter, and that sounds very close to home.
Yeah, ironically, I actually love mathematics. I was really good at maths, and I actually enjoyed it. So, but I get more common for other kids, so I use that as an example.
Yeah, I think it's like it's funny because even though like she's not doing bad or anything like that, it always feels like the end of the world to her, and we're just kind of just stood there going, seriously, man, you're 11. But yeah, that sounds really close to home. That's cool.
Yeah, a lot of families are very disciplined, so like failure is not an option. So.
I have to give props to the little girl as well.
Yeah.
She's
She
very
was in
good.
hold on, what was the name of that film? It was like Dollhouse or something, but she was really good. A friend of mine recommended her to me, and she was actually, I think, 15 by that time, so she pulled off being a 12-year-old.
Yeah, she did really well. She really, and so the other one is now this one you won a couple of awards for this, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's badass. Yeah. So the other short is Claire and Me. So tell us a little bit. Tell us a little bit about that one.
So the funny thing was that none of the films were like Camelot involved or anything, but I gave Matt a special thank you because what happened was I had a script that was completely different, and he was like saying, you know what, do you want, like, he just gave the recommendation, you know, maybe start out something easy that's in one bedroom and easy to shoot. And then I was like, okay, I had a concept, and then I evolved it into that story, and it's about a girl who's, you know, picking out a dress for prom, and then she and her friend help each other out and stuff. And so it's a very basic story, and I wanted it to look as good as possible. So because if it's, you know, if I wanted to showcase myself as a director, I wanted to showcase a style, I wanted to showcase a certain image. And I was kind of bummed at first because I sent it to like 20 festivals, and only like 2 of them accepted it. But luckily, one of them, they did give like best under 5-minute short and also best acting duo. And these are 2 of my closest friends. And actually, I submitted it to this women's magazine, like women's filmmakers magazine, and they said, hey, we really want to interview you about your film. And it's like a 5-minute short. And they really went to town. Like, they analyzed it like it was an academic text. And I was really honored because I was like, I really want this film to do well. And the fact that they saw so much in it was really special.
So we'll touch on that in a little second. But making the jump from doing promotion for movies, doing production assistance for movies and all that, but then making the jump to making your own sort of short film, doing your own project, you're at the helm, you're running the show. Was that just like massively exciting or really daunting?
I mean, it was kind of like I was kind of making films as I was doing production assistant.
Yeah.
So it was as I was doing stuff. And what was really exciting for me is because when you're a production assistant, you just, you know, it's not your film, you're just helping out. But when you're the director, you want to be sure that you're the one in charge. You're the one that's, you know, telling people what to do. And I didn't want to sound like too aggressive or anything. But everybody was like, it was actually, that was also a real eye opener because I was working with a DOP who had directed before, and so when I told him what shots to do, he was also saying, hey, why don't you do this as well? I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. And, you know, the more I communicated with the director and the actors and everything, it just made the project all the more better. And all the more better, that's not true. It made it better. And, you know, it makes you realize how collaborative the filmmaking process is. Like, everyone's important. Everyone has something to say about how to improve the story. And so that was an experience I kept in mind, because next time I make my short film, which I did with Life Lesson, I was just, you know, I was true to my vision, but I also wanted to hear what other people had to say about it. So like when I spoke to like Giselle, who plays the mother in Life Lesson, like she was like, oh, this line doesn't make sense here, yada yada. I was like, oh yeah, that's a good point and stuff. And you really learn more about your film as you make it with other people.
Nice.
That's good as well. That's important to
definitely
to take that kind of thing on, because as you say, for the next project that you take on, you want to have lessons from previous ones.
Always learning.
Exactly. so Life Lesson is in the festivals right now. So have you got anything in your head for what your next project's going to be?
Yeah, I actually had a couple of projects. I even wrote on my wall and everything. So, but one in particular is a story I had since before Claire and Me. It was called Running Girl, and it was about unrequited love. And I thought it'd be an interesting story to talk about because I really like subjective journeys. But I'm also writing feature films, so that's really exciting. I'm writing this comedy drama, which is similar to Frances Ha, and I'm also writing 2 fantasy films, so that's really cool.
Nice.
Fantasy films.
Yeah, I love
Very good. Love that.
Thanks.
No, I do. I love that. To be going from your 3, 5, 10-minute shorts and stuff, and then like I'm just gonna write a full-on epic fantasy film. I like.
Yeah, why not?
Why not? You just throw it out there. One of the things I wanted to touch on, you were talking about a female filmmakers magazine that did a big expose on you, kind of thing, on your short movie and everything, and really got into it. You know, with the current climate of the way films are right now, and the fact that women are trying to play more of a prominent role in directing jobs and all that, have you found that to be any kind of a hindrance, or have you just been like, right, this is what I'm doing and I'm going to do it and this is it?
You mean like have I ever experienced any sort of struggle because
like has anybody tried to, because I know it does happen.
Yes and no. If that's a good answer. Basically, yes, but not as a director, because whenever I was like doing a director kind of role and everything, I was always close with the people I was working with.
Yeah.
And they always, I was very fortunate that I was working with people that knew what I was doing and everything. And the other reason is that, yes, I've experienced it was more because like in other film sets, I have been patronized before, and it was just like it was very frustrating because I always had something to say, and it was just like I'm not going to go into detail because I don't want to gossip or anything, but it felt like I was being talked down to and stuff. And sometimes when I asked for advice, they were like saying like, well, you only made like 2 films, or so it's like you don't know anything kind of thing. So it was kind of frustrating, and I hope I don't go through that, because I see a lot of people like say comments and they're like saying not to be sexist, but it's the way they come across, it's still very clearly sexist, but it's just frustrating. But at the moment I haven't, but I know that it's probably going to be an obstacle, and I'm hoping that that I'm strong enough to overcome it.
Shouldn't be though. Shouldn't be. I bring it up because we spoke to Tammy Stronach. I think it was late last year, who was in Never Ending Story.
Oh yeah.
I'm just going to name drop that because I love Never Ending Story, by the way.
Yeah.
But she was on about how she now makes movies herself, and some of the struggle when she was on the episode, it was like some of the things that she's come up against, and she's like, in 2019 we're still having this. And I just wondered, you being a female filmmaker, sort of getting into the industry, if that had been anything you'd come up against.
Yeah, from a personal standpoint, not yet, because I'm still like in production assistant roles and stuff. I mean, I have done other films, and I'm very lucky that like I was recently associate producer for this short, and I was so lucky that they were like impressed with me, and we were all very like supportive of each other. But still, like, I do see it quite often and everything. Like, there's one film review I saw on YouTube and stuff, like, and it was a woman. She was like saying, "Oh, I'm really frustrated that they keep casting these." And she says she's a feminist, so it's weird. She says, "Oh, it's really frustrating that they cast these women in as directors and stuff. Are they saying that men can't direct and stuff?" I'm like, dude, if you're gonna have that reaction towards every single woman who is remotely successful, then maybe you're the problem, not the fact that women need like more recognition.
Yeah.
It's just like it's weird. So yeah,
it is a weird mindset to have. That kind of thing. And luckily it's something that's alien to us, and that's a good thing. So yeah.
That's dark.
But I just wanted to ask. I wasn't going to dwell too much on it. I just wanted to, with the whole filmmaker magazine that did the interview with you, just want to quickly ask you. Yeah.
That's good. Yeah.
So you mentioned that you're working on your features. So have you got a plan in your head of when that you might be looking to make that happen? Or
at the moment, no. Like it's still an early draft. But on the plus side, it was like one of my early. In fact, it was not even. It was like my first or second draft. And the first 3 people who read it, all of them loved it. They were like, "Oh wow, this actually is really." The first comment I got from my very first for the very first person who read my very first feature, he said, "You're a really good writer, Danny." So I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's so cool!" And it's still an early draft. I still want to change stuff, but it was very promising. And I did want to act in it myself, but if anything changes, I can always recast, or not recast. I can always have someone else act in it if I want to direct, because it's not set in stone. But I just want it to be the best project it can be. So yeah, and the reason I wanted to act in it, not only because I love acting, but because the story itself is very personal. So I thought it made sense.
Plus, as well, you would have written a badass character, and you're like, I'm playing that character. That's a badass character.
Really tempting, yeah.
You always write your favorite character for yourself, I'd imagine.
Yeah. She was the most popular girl in school.
That's amazing.
The one with the biggest sword and the biggest gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's who I'm playing.
So let's
all the women loved him, yeah.
So you mentioned acting. So your other passion, as you said to me earlier on, is in singing and musical theatre.
Yeah, I've seen plenty of videos of you singing on the YouTube.
Yeah? What do you think?
Very good voice, very nice voice.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. So yeah, basically the film, in fact, the film that I did write that I want to act in does have a lot of musical theater numbers, which is another reason I wanted to sing in it and act in it. So, it was just putting one of my passions into my other film. So there was that, and I guess also I want to, that's another reason I want to work on my acting, because I do love musical theater, and I want to apply myself there at some point. In fact, I actually auditioned to Frozen. There was an open audition 3 weeks ago, and I auditioned, and I really want to play Anna. So hopefully I get it, but I haven't heard back yet. So yeah.
What was that for Frozen? For a stage show or?
Yeah, for West End. Yeah.
Oh, nice, very nice. Well, I hope you do, because that would be awesome.
Thanks.
You're going to be down to the West End to see that, aren't you?
I've like I say, I've got an 11-year-old, an 8-year-old, and a 3-year-old. At some point, I'll be down there seeing that.
Awesome.
They just released that damn trailer for Frozen 2, and it's all that's been. It's a trailer, and it's all that's been on the TV.
It looks so beautiful. Yeah, I'm so excited for that.
Yeah, you can keep it.
I can't think if I've seen that or not. Is Elsa underwater?
Probably.
Yeah, she's underwater and there's a horse.
Yeah, I have seen it. Yeah.
Animation's gorgeous. Yeah.
I love that they love those movies, but I don't love those movies.
That's fine. Yeah. All to themselves, yeah.
Toy Story, I can watch that. That's
yeah, I thought Toy Story 4 was really good. Yeah.
It's getting good reviews. It's getting very good reviews.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's Toy Story, so.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoy the Toy Story movies. It's no Finding Nemo, though, is it?
Yeah, but that's kind of away from what we were talking about.
That's right. Yes, it is. So,
so yeah.
So, have you done much musical theatre then? What have you got much experience in actually performing in musical theatre? Or?
Not really. I mean, okay, I do have I did take singing lessons, and a lot of them focused on musical theatre. So. There was that, and at the moment I've been with this choir called On Chorus, and I've been with them for a year and a half, and it's been amazing. So that's where my my singing is put to use at the moment. But I would like to take more acting lessons and everything, just to expand on because it's better to have a musical theater. You need to sing and act. So yeah.
Just in case Great Showman 2 comes along.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh dear me.
Again, something else just totally bypassed you.
Yeah, I didn't watch that.
Yeah, we actually did Come Alive, and we did This Is Me on that's one of our songs in our repertoire in the choir.
That is pretty cool. He's got no idea what you're on about.
I've got absolutely no idea what that is.
There are 2 songs, yeah.
I've heard of it. I've never seen it though.
No.
Yeah. It's kind of strange because it's I really like the music and I love the directing and stuff, but I'm not crazy about the story. I think it's pretty generic and yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I love the music.
Plus, I think they made or adjusted a lot of the story because it's not true to. It's not at all.
Absolutely not. No.
It's good though, and it's got Zac Efron in it.
Is this still Greatest Showman?
Yeah.
All right. I thought it was-
Sorry, we're not here to talk about that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not talking about it. I've got no idea what you're talking about.
Crack on.
So yes, so well, but hopefully, fingers crossed, you'll hear back about Frozen. That'd be bloody awesome.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. So what's what's on the horizon? What's on the pipeline right now for you then?
Well, from personal projects
Yeah.
or from, well, at the moment I'm just writing my feature films and
Yeah.
stuff. At the moment I'm helping out with other stuff. Like Camelot has a few projects lined up, so that's really exciting. Like one of the films they're doing is has now I can say it. Timothy Spall starring in it. So
Nice.
that's exciting.
Very nice.
And I'm also just living life, I guess.
That's what I like to hear.
Yeah.
So is there anything you can tell us about the Timothy Spall project then? Or?
Yeah, I know that the premise is about, like, basically I feel a little bit special. But I mean, I feel a little bit special because I put, like, basically the director, Daniel Graham, sent an email to us, and then I was like, basically I was in charge of looking at emails and everything. So I took a look at the email and I was like, hey Matt, check this guy out, kind of like that. Yeah. And now they're working together, and he's directing and Matt's producing, and obviously like it's emails and stuff, but I still feel a little bit special. So the story is about this this architect who goes to like and meets this eccentric billionaire and stuff, and he calls himself the Grand Duke of Corsica and everything. And then there's like an epidemic going on in this island and stuff, and everyone has to escape, but like the architect wants to finish the project. That's from what I remember. So, but it sounds really interesting. So yeah.
Is that one of those things where you like, as soon as the email comes through, you quickly copy it and like send it to everyone you know?
I don't know. Basically, the email had a trailer to his most recent film, and it was a film with Willem Dafoe, and I thought, oh, it looks really good and stuff. I think this guy is like promising. So that's why I put him in contact with Matt and stuff. I mean, he came in contact to us, but I was there, so.
Well, if it wasn't for you, they wouldn't be working together, so you're the linchpin.
Yay!
If it wasn't for you, Chris and I maybe wouldn't have had the interview with Dom and Matt. So, you're the maker of I was going to say maker of dreams, but that sounds terrible.
It does.
Oh, I've had a drink.
You've had a sip.
I'm not an alcoholic, but I'm working on it.
I do sometimes go too far. But yeah, it sounds like what you do over at Camelot, and whether it's part-time or not, or full-time, it sounds like you have a very important job over there, and you're extremely busy. So, yeah, what's it actually like working with Matt and Dom, though?
Oh, I'm just kidding, no.
Because I only asked
I
because
was going to lean forward there. That was about to get interesting.
they come across as the nicest guys on the planet, but I kind of hope there's just a little bit of ooh about them.
Yeah. Well, basically, like they're like my roommates. Like sometimes you want to punch them in the face, but they're fine,
Yeah.
like they don't really hurt anyone. So at the moment, I'm not working with Dom. I'm mostly working on Matt's projects because he produced I Love My Mom. But basically, we had to, he gives us tasks to what to do to like promote the film or to like contact people or something like that. Sometimes I have to type out documents. But Matt is always really, really busy. So yeah. I don't know what else to say because I don't want him to like listen to the podcast and be like, "Hey, Danny, you're supposed to call me like amazing and stuff."
No, nobody wants that. Nobody wants that.
But no, he's cool to work with. So yeah, and I learn a lot. So yeah, and whenever I need advice for any film or whatever, like they're there. So yeah.
So on the project you've got in your head or on the boil, you're on about you've got a couple of fantasy films that you want to make. If you could choose any one right now to go into production tomorrow and you were making it, what would it be?
Easily the one I'm writing right now. It's called Diamond Journey, and it's basically it's kind of like Snow White and the Huntsman in terms of tone and look. So, but it's a little bit more fairy tale like and everything. So, yeah, we have this kingdom that's protected by this magical shield, and in which only mostly people who are like not driven by hate or fear or anything. They can enter and everything. So 100 years pass, and then suddenly the shield breaks, and this princess has to find a way to bring back the shield and everything. Otherwise, there's this evil king that's going to take over and stuff. That's the whole gist of it. But it's really exciting because it's like the Wizard of Oz on steroids. I don't know.
That's your poster.
That's your elevator pitch. That's your elevator pitch right there.
Yeah, well, we do have sort of like the Scarecrow, Tin Man and character, but no, and she's like the Dorothy of the story. But I didn't want to explore morality. I wanted to explore a sort of anti-war theme. I wanted to explore, our subtle connection to nature because I'm a huge fan of Hayao Miyazaki, and whether it's explicit or very subtle, he really shows that connection to nature and everything. So that's something I just sort of applied into my work.
Have you ever? You mentioned earlier about when you were getting into like watching movies and everything, you loved your animations and stuff like that. And that story that you're telling right there sounds like it could be a great animation as well. Have you ever thought about going down that road and directing animated?
It'd be really cool to go into animation and stuff. And I don't have much in terms of like actually animating or anything, but in terms of like if I were to sell my script to DreamWorks or Pixar or Disney especially, like it would be freaking amazing. Like it'd be a dream come true. And and like it would be a very visual project. So it'd be a good project to sell. Yeah.
Cool. But you'd rather make it yourself.
Yeah, I mean, yes and no. Like I want the project to be made and stuff. Yeah. Obviously have credit for it, but yeah, like one of the ideas I had is that if I'm done with a film, like if it's like one thing I could do is send it to a film competition that's like Page International that looks for screenplays and stuff, and if it wins an award, then it gets more chances of getting produced. That's one idea I had. But the other one is that if someone actually really really likes it and produces it, that's even better. So yeah,
cool,
or just as good. I don't know.
And that right there is precisely why I asked that kind of question. Did you see how excited Daniella got there, telling us about that story and the sort of the basic plot and everything? That's the magic right there.
Yeah, I love storytelling. I love writing films and stuff. And I know I have more experience like writing than directing, but I would love to direct as well because stories are magical, and film happens to be my favorite medium of storytelling. So it's just something I want to do.
Well,
but you're going in the right direction. You've got the shorts going, and they're both great,
winning awards.
Exactly, yeah. So that that's why the hell not?
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
Why the hell not?
Halfway there.
Exactly. Go ahead and tell everybody who's listening to this where can they find you, where can they follow you, and all that kind of thing.
Well, you can find me in London. No, I'm just kidding.
I love how people always come up with that answer.
I don't have an official Facebook or page, but I do have Instagram and Daniella Dahoui, just all together, and it's double L. So, and don't get confused with the A and the E because it's Daniella, not Danielle. Danielle Dahoui is actually my aunt, and she's like a famous chef. So that's actually true. She's actually she was the hostess of Hell's Kitchen Brazil, so that was really cool.
Oh,
nice. Yeah. Was she a sweary?
No, actually she was. I thought she came across as more professional than Gordon Ramsay. I think with Ramsay they asked him to be more angry and everything, but she came across as tough but still professional. So yeah, not condescending. So anyway, that's my Instagram, and my YouTube channel is also just my name. And if you want to see my old singing videos, and Twitter is actually Danny. How do you call the line underneath? Anyway. Underscore Danny _ Muggle. So Danny the Muggle. It used to be my old fan fiction name. So I just wrote Danny the Muggle. And
hang on. Fan fiction name. Did you write fan fiction?
Yes.
Awesome. That is awesome. It
was Tintin fan fiction I wrote, and I never finished it or anything, but But yeah, it was a lot. I mean, I finished one, but then there was a sequel, and I didn't finish that one. But yeah, it was a lot of fun.
I love how you just kind of, as you wrap it up, you drop in, you do fan fiction, and it's like, no, let's go back a second.
Yeah. You're like, wait a minute, what? Yeah. But I haven't written in a while. Now I moved on to scripts.
Yeah. Awesome.
That is awesome.
That's a good way to finish up. I like that.
Yeah.
But listen, Danielle, this has been absolutely brilliant to have a crack.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, it's as Kev said earlier on, you know, it's you've been involved with a lot of different interviews that we've been doing and a lot of different movies that we've been watching, we think you're great. So we wish you just the best of luck with. We hope you hear back from Frozen.
Thanks so much.
And keep on going with the shorts. Keep on get those features going.
Yeah.
And come back on to tell us about them.
I will. Yeah, I'll let you know. I'll keep you updated.
Yeah, at least we know when Wizard of Oz on steroids gets made, we've got an in.
I mean, it's just the backbone, but yeah, like that's the idea. It's a journey, you know.
No, honestly, you take that into a boardroom and sell that as a pitch meeting, you've got it. The film's getting made. So I'm making Wizard of Oz on steroids. Sold. No, but thank you very much for coming on, Daniela. It's been a cracking little chat. Like Chris says, keep up with the short movies, get your movies made, and it's been great to have sort of that promotions aspect as well to speak to, because we haven't had that on 365 before, so it's been cool having that aspect as well.
Awesome, yeah. Thank you.
Well, good luck with the travelling tomorrow as well.
Yep.
Very much, yeah.
But yeah, we'll let you go there, let you go away and pack and all that, and then double check your back in, and then triple check your pack in just in case.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
I'll be fine. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you again for
coming
Danielle.
on.
All right.
Thanks very much.
All right. Take care.
You too. Cheers.
Hey, hooligans. This is Michael.
This is Michelle.
This is Jeremy.
From Who the What Now?
The show about
strange stories from the internet.
And Bigfoot came over and beat his ass. He knocked him around a little bit, and he just kind of went limp, and Bigfoot left.
Pop culture.
Jean-Claude Van Clam.
I thought
Jean-Claude Van Clam was supposed to be the alien in Predator, and did a jump splits and ended up with his bat right in the dude's face.
That's his
do I get the part?
In our crazy lives.
I'm like, oh, there's a cat on my back, and then all of a sudden I feel something. I feel a furry paw go down my ass crack. Just slide right down my ass crack. I was like, what are you doing?
You can catch us on all your favorite podcast applications.
Spotify.
iTunes.
Libsyn.
iHeartRadio.
Stitcher.
Your mamas. And wherever else they have quality podcasts.
So don't miss out on the next
Who the What Now?
But that was Daniela. That was. She was great. I loved having her on. All the best of luck in the world to you on the Frozen auditions. Hopefully that comes through. I want this Wizard of Oz on steroids movie.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I mean that. Yeah, I think you would watch that. Anybody would watch that. But talking about movies and talking about somebody who has made a couple of shorts and is winning awards for her shorts. How's yours coming on?
My shorts?
Yeah. Not your shorts, like your short.
It is pretty goddamn near done.
Yeah, I only bring it up because we just watched it.
We did just watch it, yeah. You've got an amazing memory.
I do, but you like the way I do my segues.
Yes, so we now have an edit, or the first edit with we've got sound, we've got the edit incomplete, we've got our colour grading graded, yes, exactly. And so we've got the first cut with the with the sound on it, like the background sound, like
I'm aware what sound is.
Taps and shit.
Yeah, I know what sound is. Yeah,
I'm speaking to them.
I've heard sounds.
I'm speaking to them.
I'm pretty sure the listener knows what sounds is as well.
You should be the right arsehole.
The ambience.
whatever.
The accoutrement.
So there's a couple of little tweaks to go there, and then I need to write some end credits. You're not going to be in it.
Why?
Because you did fuck all.
I made the teas.
You didn't make tea.
You made the teas.
Uh-huh.
But I drank the teas. Call me T-Boy. T-Boy Kev.
T-Boy Kev, right, okay, that's fine.
Tetley T-Boy.
You can have that.
I honestly think that my credit should be like man of all trades, man about town.
I did.
No, that's Toby.
I did say to Aaron, we were speaking about what your credit would be, and I suggested senior fluffer.
I'll take that. I'll take that.
Yeah. I think that could be one. Yeah.
Speaking about
fluffing.
Fluffing as well, because this guy would love that. I quickly just name dropped a good friend of ours, Mr. Toby Osmond. Toby would like to be part of the show official now.
See, that confuses me.
Yeah, well,
because as far as I was aware or concerned, he is.
He's officially he's officially unofficially part of the show. He is the man about town. He does the weather reports. But Toby would like to step into more of a role where he sort of goes to places as a rep for us.
Well,
which I think is pretty damn cool. The Prince of Dawn. I mean, we'll not talk about that last episode, but that's pretty cool that he wants to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we are going to be getting some reviews and whatnot of things that he attends. There is one incoming, from what I'm told. Apparently, it's not a good one. But there is one incoming that I've been told. And
Toby's going to have a right good bitching session.
Yeah, it sounds like it, yeah. But, I mean, I got a little bit worried to start off with, because he says, you know how you review things? And I'm like, I'm aware that we review things. And he's like, you know how you have opinions on things? I was like, I'm aware that we have opinions. He says, can I do a review segment on your show? I was like, yes, you may. What would you like to review? And he was like, well, you know how you don't do theatre on your shows? And I was like, not really. And he was like, I would like to do a theatre show. And I was like, you know what? Class up this podcast as much as you want, you gorgeous son of a bitch. So now he has that role. That's what he's going to be doing.
Our theatre correspondent.
Not just theatre. He's going to be doing other stuff, because I could not listen to Toby talk about theatre all the time.
I probably could.
To be fair, I know what the crack is. He's a celebrity, you know. He's half a celebrity, you know. He's as much as a celebrity as those arseholes on Love Island. Okay, so
way more than that.
I know what's going on. He wants to use the Toby Osmond status on one hand to get the ladies, but he wants to use the 365 status to get him free tickets to shows. That's what it is.
Oh, you sneaky bastard.
That's why I love him.
Fair play.
Because it made me think, oh, damn, he thinks we've got clout. I love it.
We do.
But yeah, that's some pretty cool shit that's happening. Toby's going to be doing some reviews shortly. They're going to be on the show more often. It's going to be awesome. Chris's movie is all but done. Just some cheeky little tweaks. Got to figure out what my end credit title is going to be. I think you should just call me like End Credits Kevin Halden.
Mm-hmm.
Or The End Kevin Halden. Or oh man, Kevin Halden.
He doesn't say it like that.
How does he say? Oh, I mean.
That's it.
That's a bit closer, isn't it? But yeah, Daniella Dahoui was absolutely phenomenal to speak to. It was a great little crack, and we got more coming for you over the next few weeks. So keep your eyes and ears. Eyes, pointless podcast. Keep your ears open. Anything you'd like to say before we go, Chris?
No. I think you've said everything.
I tend to do that, don't I?
Yeah. Rambling Egypt.
That should be like, that could be my end credit title. Are you boiling because you've bust your popper?
I've not.
You have?
I've not. All right.
Okay, so we're gonna go.